Hey guys, making sure got all my stuff set up. Okay, so as you hop on, say hi so I know everybody's there. Hey, okay. So today we are doing, okay, I'm doing my phone this time for the comments. So I feel like this is working better. I can see them. Yay. So last week we did the digital sticker class on how to use the digital stickers. And I think Andrea said that she took last week's video and she put it on the digital sticker page now in the gallery so that you can find it there easily. So it's still in the group here somewhere, but it's also on that page so that you can find it now or later or whatever if you need it. So today we're going to talk about the connection cards. And then next week, I'm going to make a video about the portfolios and projects and stuff. And then that's going to post for you guys next Thursday because I'll be at seminar. So today we're talking about the connection cards. Hey guys, welcome. Thanks for jumping on with me. Hey, so we're going to talk about the connection cards. So I'm just going to jump right into it because I have a lot to share with you guys today. So the connection card concept really came about because warm chatting for me, like I'm introverted and I'm more on the quiet side when until I come out of my shell. I feel like in our Mary Kay world, I'm a little bit more in my element. So it's a little bit easier for me to be more outgoing in our environment. But if I'm just going to go meet somebody and strike up a conversation with a random stranger, that terrifies me. So it just doesn't come very natural to me. So when I would warm chat somebody, I liked to always have some kind of tool or something that I was using to connect with them. And so I came up with this connection card idea and have been using it ever since as my main go-to tool. And since then we've created a bunch of different variations of them, but it's all the same concept. So I'm going to teach you how I do that and how they work. But what I like to do is I like to hand out gifts to people. Gifts are my love language. I like to make people feel happy and warm inside. So I like to hand out gifts whenever I'm out and about. And that's kind of my way of making connections with them. And so the gift itself is actually in the connection card that I'm going to show you. So you can just hand out the cards to people. You don't have to make a whole presentation out of it, but I find joy in that. So I do. So I have little blessing bags is what I call them that I put together. And it just has some candy. It has one of my mom's God thought cards in it, which is got scripture on one side and then an affirmation that she wrote on the other side. So it's got some feel goods in there, and then it has the connection card. And I used to put my business card and stuff, and now since I came up with the connection card idea, Andrea put a place for us to put our contact information on it. So then you don't need a business card, your information's right there. So I put them in a cute little bag. But the gift that I do is a free facial kit. And so the free at-home facial kit, DIY facial kit, that is my go-to gift for everything. So if I'm doing a giveaway in my VIP client group, the winner gets a free facial gift. If they anytime someone fills out one of my forms or they join my Facebook group or they attend an event or whatever, and I give out gifts, they're always free facial kits. And I have different types of them because there's lots of my clients that do a lot of things, and so they get a lot of free facial gifts as their gifts. And so I change it up, this week's facial gift is this, and I just have a different spin to it. So I still call it a free facial gift, but they just know that theirs is going to be a little bit different, or sometimes it's like a glam bag then instead of like the facial kit. But I like to use the facial kit because it's a booking tool. Like it comes with a tutorial, it comes with me, so I'm there to do a VIP tutorial with them in person at a physical appointment, or if they're going to attend like one of my virtual watch and washes, and I'm going to walk them through how to use their facial kit in their own bathroom, but like live with me on Zoom or Facebook Live or something. So it's a tool to book them. It's not just to give them a cute goodie bag. It is to book them. So with the connection cards, there are actually now like 3 different styles that we've created. And the reason there's different styles, it's not that like one, I have a favorite, which I'll tell you which one's my favorite, but it's not really like one works way better than the other one. It's that like when you start doing something for a while, like, and you just, we just like, I think it's our nature, or maybe it's just me, but I feel like I like to just like switch things up. Like, I feel like I just change things up a little bit, and like how I say it or what I'm doing or what I'm giving. And then it's like a shift in my mind that like, I'm excited about it because it's new. And so then I feel like there's like an energy connected to that, because then I'm expecting the people that I'm connecting with to be excited about it. And because it's like, it's something different that I'm doing, you know what I mean? But it's not so different from like my normal thing that I do, because I know that my normal thing works. Anyway, okay, in case you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll just explain the different cards. Okay, so there's the initial card I started with that has on it like what the gift is. So this one says like, you get a free at-home facial kit, which includes anti-aging facial cleansing treatment, a brightening and hydrating day cream treatment, a skin correcting and hydrating night cream treatment, a lifting, brightening eye treatment, a detoxing, pore declogging charcoal treatment. So it's like, here's like all the goodness that comes in your facial kit, so they can see what it is they're getting. It's like right here already on the card. Okay, so there's that card. Then the next one that I came up with was one that had like a QR code on it. And so you can print them off in a sheet of 4. So you can print them on like, she formats everything to do Avery labels. So you can print them off on like the Avery postcards, or I just printed this one really quick on like regular cardstock, and you can cut it, you know what, I'm all for easy sometimes. So the QR code one is that they would scan the QR code with their phone, and it takes them to a landing page that says all of this stuff, but it doesn't say it on the card. They have to go see what it is that they won. And then the new one that we created was these scratch off ones. And so it's the same concept as the QR code, except for instead of the code, you can get these little like scratch off stickers on Amazon. And it says like this part under here is like editable in Canva. So mine's just say you get a free facial kit, and then you cover it with a sticker, and then you have to let it sit. So just like total side tip, when you get these stickers, if you're like testing them out like I did, you have to like let it sit for a while. Like I found like if I let it sit on here for like an hour or something, or at least, like 20-30 minutes, probably. I think I ended up letting it sit for an hour, because the first time I did it, I put it on here and then I was like, oh, I'm going to scratch it, like right now, and like see how it works. It did not work. Like the sticker started like lifting and the whole thing just came off, and that was like not a fun experience. If you let it sit though, it adheres, it like needs time to adhere or something, and then it does work. So just FYI, at least the ones that we that like I ordered, and she put I think the link on the Boss Buys page to the ones that I got. So if you don't want to have to like, read all the reviews and search for it, but if you let it sit and then try it out, it actually scratches off like a scratch off card, So this is my favorite one. It's the scratch off. So the idea behind the QR code and the scratch off though, because if you're thinking like, well, then they have to take this extra step to go find what they want. But I feel like, to me, it's like enrolling them in the process of something, because then when they're enrolled in it, they feel more invested, which then leads them to become more committed to whatever it is that you're enrolling them to do. So it's kind of like, in my mind, like when you pre-profile someone for something, you aren't pre-profiling them just for the sake of getting all this information from them ahead of time. You're pre-profiling them because it's enrolling them in the process of attending the event that they're invited to, or the party or the appointment or whatever. Because whenever they've taken extra steps to like prepare for something, they're way more likely to be committed to going because they're invested in the process. That makes sense. So that was like my concept with something that they had to do to find what their gift is that they got. So when you think about it, like if someone just hands, they're just handing out these coupons, even if they're great coupons, like if the coupon just says what it's for, I mean, yes, the people are going to still use it because it's a coupon. It's great. But it feels like everybody just got the same coupon, right? But if you get this like coupon and it's like, okay, scan this to see what you won, or, do the scratch off and see what you won, like you feel like this was like your gift. Like it feels a little bit more individualized and special. So it provides more value. So that's, to me, why the scratch off ones are the most fun. But what I do when I am out and about, I go around giving people, like my blessing bags. So if I'm shopping or running errands or doing something like that, or like a waitress at the restaurant or whatever, I'll say something like, you've just been so helpful. Like, I want to give you something. I have a gift for you. Gifts are my love language. I carry these little blessing bags around with me. And whenever I meet someone I want to bless, I just give them a little bag. And so like I hand it to her, and she's, like just anytime you're giving someone something, they're like, oh, that's so nice. So I'll just like, here, open it. Like, I'm so excited for you to open it and see what's in it. And so as she's opening it, I'll tell her like, there's some goodies in there, some uplifting affirmations and some, sugar, like sugar doesn't hurt. And then as she's like unwrapping, I'm like telling her like, I have a beauty business. And so each of these goodie bags have a different gift in it. So as she's pulling it out and she's like pulling out the card, I'm like, I'll say, yeah, like right there, you just scratch that off and it'll tell you what gift you get. And then I'll just, she'll be like smiling, and I'm like, should we scratch it off right now? Like, I want to know what you got. And so I include, I was going to grab one to show you those little wooden, like scratch off things, like they're just like little wooden sticks, and they have like a point to them, and you can like scratch, and you can get like 100 of them for like $3 or something on Amazon. I started including those in here because then otherwise we're like, who has a quarter? Let's find it, it's not as like seamless. So I'm like, there's a little stick in there, grab your stick and start scratching it up. So that's what I do. So she'll scratch it off, and it of course says like she gets a free facial kit, and I'll be like, oh yay, that's the best one. And I'm like so excited for her. And so then I'll start talking to her about the facial kit, and I'll just tell her like it's made up of a bunch of different at-home like facial treatments. It's so great. Have you ever had a facial before? And most of the time, they say yes. And they'll be like, okay, it's just like that, except for it's like a DIY one that you get to do at home. And so you get to then learn about the treatments and know what it is that you're putting on and how and what it's doing for you. Because that's like, I love facials and I love how great they feel, but I don't know what it's doing. Like, I'm the type of person that I'm like, I read the back of my shampoo. Like, I want to know, like, why is this good for my hair? What's it going to do for me? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But I tell her like, and so you get all of those great goodies in there. And then you also get a skin analysis scan, and it shows you what's happening underneath your skin, like where like your skin needs to have more exfoliation, or, what's, where the damage is starting to occur, all of those kind of things. It's so cool. So I also come with it. So what I do is I help you with your scan so you can figure it out, and I show you how to read the results. And then I walk you through how to use the treatments so you can learn more about them and how they work in your kit. So I'll customize the treatments for your skin, so we know that we're using the right ones for you, and I'll put it all together. So I'll just have you, when you text me, I'll text you some questions later and you can answer those for me. And then I'll like customize and personalize your kit for you. And then I just, I'm like, I'm so excited you got this one. This is so fun. And then I'll say something about like scheduling the tutorial. So I'll ask her, depending on like how you do yours. Like if you do yours in person, you could say, like, when's a good time for us to do the tutorial? I can come to you, or you can come to me. Like if it's someone who's working when you're talking to her, which a lot of times it's like I'm meeting someone that's helping me at the store, in the dressing room, or at a restaurant or something. So I'll be like, what days do you have off next week? Or, like I've actually have an opening on Saturday. What's Saturday like for you? Just kind of like figuring out a time with her while you're with her. And so then I hand her my phone. And I say, perfect. Okay, put your number in here real quick and send me a text. So I open up a blank text message, hand her my phone, she puts in her number. And so then I say, I'm gonna like text me really quick. I'll send you my calendar. I'll send you some more information about the kit and stuff too. So you kind of have like something to look at, which I have like images and like things that I put together that like just sell the kit, like why it's so exciting that she's getting this kit. And then she texts me, so then I have her phone number. So I always, like, if I can, I get their number before I leave. And then later I will text her like the pre-profiling questions about her skin, if it's oily or dry or whatever, which really is just part of that enrolling process, not so much like whether you customize the kit or not. It's just more for that enrolling them so they are invested, because if she's answering these questions about herself, it's going to lead to her being more committed. If there's not enough time for like a whole conversation like that, I have plan B and I just give her my phone, and I'm just like, instead of talking to her about like, when's a good time for you? Are you off this week or whatever? I'll hand her my phone and just say, okay, send me a text really quick with your name. And then I'll send you the questions for the kit so I can personalize it for you. And then I book her through text, or see if she wants to call me or something. But I just always try to get the phone number if I can. It's not to say there is sometimes that I'll do plan C, which is like I just hand out the blessing bags to people at like a drive-through or something. There's just not time to connect with them. I don't like, I just have a bunch of these made up. So I'd rather them have it than not, especially if like they're super cute and like they seem like someone I want to connect with. Like I will give it to them. But if that is like your main like plan, your main like plan of attack, like don't get your hopes up, because like the chances of them connecting with you, like initiating the connection by you just handing them a bag, is not as high. I've had it happen because that was how I originally started out. Like, I'm just going to give out these bags to everybody and they're all just going to text me. And it doesn't matter. Like, even if they think it's super cute or so fun, like life gets busy and they forget about you. Like, they're at work or they're wherever, they threw the bag in their purse or their car, and then they find it like 6 months later. And then they're like, oh, I don't think this is good anymore. So then they don't reach out to you. Right. So you want to try to connect with them. But I have had like maybe 3 out of 10, maybe, that have sent me like a message and initiated it. I don't know what really the rate of them actually booking from there has been, because I still feel like I've had people that have reached out to me and I get really excited and then nothing ever comes from it. And I think it's because that connection wasn't there. Like, I didn't spend any time talking to them, so they didn't really know me, like ish yet. So I do feel like if you're able to connect with them, you're going to get better results, and you're going to you're going to have a better chance of them booking because of that connection. But if it's like in passing and you just want to give it to them, it doesn't hurt. So I always try to, if I can, at least get some text communication going, at least have her number. Now, if you don't want to do the facial kit as the gift, or you want to actually have a bunch of different options, because I always tell people, like, everything's different. You get a different, each card says something different. Like, what did you get? Even though I just always do the facial kit. If you actually want yours to say something different, then you can do like, because I've done glam bags, which is like a color card, custom color kits, color samples, I've done like a free CC cream or a free foundation. Like, I try to pick gifts that can be accompanied by a session like with me. So for the glam bags, they get a makeup tutorial with me. The custom color kits, we do a color matching session to find like the right shades for them. Free CC cream and foundations, they get a free foundation matching session. because I use it as a booking tool. Like, I'm not just trying to give out free products and samples to all of these people. Like, I want to book them. And so it makes sense that, you know, whatever the gift is comes with a tutorial or a color matching session or something. Like, it makes sense why they would need to get together with me to utilize that gift. So there have been times where I have made up a bunch of different gift versions. Like, if I'm going to go out with the intention of getting a bunch of leads. So like these other ones, like I put together are like more just like connection ones, but there's been times where I'm like, okay, I just really running dry on leads. I just need to go meet a bunch of people. And so I will put together these like baskets of all my little blessing bags, and I'll go to different like strip malls or like areas of town that have a lot of people that have offices and little boutique shops and things like that. And I'll just say like, I'm out appreciating women today, and I have these blessing bags to give out, and each bag's got something, you know, different in it, a different gift. And so then I just let each woman pick out a bag out of the basket and open it up to see what they got. And so when I do this, like that's when I come up with those different like gift options, but it's really all kind of like the same gift in a sense. I just change up the wording a little bit. So like I might, because like they're all going to be opening it in front of each other, so I don't want everyone's thing to say like the same thing. Like, oh weird, you just all picked out the same one. So I'll do like a free foundation and a free CC cream and a free contouring kit, and like just different things like that that are like, you know, similar, but they all come with a free like matching session. Because in order for me to give you a free foundation or a CC cream or sample kit or whatever, like I need to know what shade to give you, right? So I need to match you one way or another. So we might as well make a whole session out of it. So then it comes with that session. So free contouring session, free color correcting session, I've done a free eyeliner, like with an eyeliner lesson, because I like to think of areas that people kind of struggle with, like how to put on eyeliner, I feel like is a big one, how to style your brows, how to contour, those kind of things, because it creates value in the gift. Because they're like, oh, I do want to learn that. Like, I not only want the gift, but I want that session because I want to learn that. Because I feel like right now, and maybe it's just me, but I feel like people want to have someone who just like sits down and shows them how to do it, right? Like, I feel like we're in this world where there's just so many YouTube videos now and so much stuff you can Google and try and figure it out. And it's nice that we have that at our fingertips. But a lot of times, like for me, like I'm like, okay, I just want someone just to tell me, just call me and tell me how to do this, or someone just sit down and show me or whatever. And so I feel like if I was someone who wanted to learn how to put on eyeliner and someone was like, I'm going to give you a free eyeliner and I'm going to sit down and show you how to do it, I would be like, yes, please, let's do that. You know, like something like that brings that value to them. So, and if you don't want to do like free retail size products, like you can create all kinds of sample kits and call them fun names like contouring kits or travel color kits or whatever, that are just samples. Or like, I mean, it's, you know, you get a free detox experience, like, or like call it peel session. Like they're just sessions where they're trying the product of the session like normal. It's just how you are presenting it, right? So the goal is to get them excited, to book them with the gift. So I'll have everyone pick out a bag. They open it up, like each woman goes around and she says like what she got, and I act excited about every gift. And I say something like, you know, oh my gosh, like, have you ever had your foundation professionally matched before? You know, 9 out of 10 women are going to be like, no. Oh, you are going to love this. Or if it's a color matching session, I'll say like, have you seen, you know, those places where you can go and get your colors done, and they'll like drape the different color swatches on you to kind of see what colors like are your colors that you should wear. And like, I feel like that's kind of growing in popularity right now. So a lot of people are like, oh yeah. So I can say this is kind of like that, but it's like your makeup. I'm going to help you find the right shades for you to wear, like makeup wise. So I make it sound like a big deal. I romance it. And then I tell them, Okay, so what I need you guys to do is I need you to grab at your phones right now. I need you to shoot me a text message with your name and what your gift is so that you can claim it. And then later when I'm home, I'm going to send you some questions so you can answer so I can customize your kit or your gift or your experience or whatever for you. So I kind of do the Plan B thing where I'm having them send me a text because it's hard if it's like a bunch of people for me to like, wait, everybody wait while I hand out my phone, you know, but if it's 1 or 2 people, then I'll do it that way. But if it's a group of people, but then I stand there like with my phone, I'm like, grab out your phone, pull up your text, like go ahead and send a text to me. And then I'm going to shoot you a link back to my calendar or some information or whatever. And so then like, I'm waiting for them to text me. And so then that way I'm still getting their phone numbers when I leave. So the next step after that, when you're messaging them and pre-profiling them and all that stuff is like then to turn their session into a gathering. So letting them know they can bring some friends along. You can also let them know that they can do some free like add-ons. So if you did like a makeup related gift, like skincare, I feel like is like it's my jam. I love makeup. I can teach makeup forever, but I feel like skincare is where we can shine as consultants because they can't get that anywhere else. Like they can go to a makeup artist and someone can show them how to do their makeup and they can pay for it. But like skincare, like even if you make an appointment with a dermatologist, like your skin is going to change in 10 minutes and you're going to need somebody to like help you guide you through that. And you can't just keep paying for the dermatologist appointment and they don't even really know everything that's in the products because it's not really their products. They didn't make them. So I have a whole training on just the value that we have as consultants to people because they need someone to help guide them through all of the skincare stuff and choices and the seasons that their skin goes through. So I do feel like we can really shine when we're doing a skincare appointment. So I always try to upgrade or like add on the skincare part to a color appointment. And so that's how I'll phrase it to them. Like, you know, you can add on a free skincare consultation and skin analysis scan to your sessions. I'm doing that for free this week. If you want to add that on to your appointment, then we can add that on. And so you're turning it into a full appointment that way. You can, sometimes I'll like tie the two together. So I'll tell them if they want to share their session with, you know, 3 friends, then they'll each get a glam bag too. And then I'll let you upgrade the session for free and include free skin analysis scan or whatever. Like it's like it's like their hostess credit. You're getting a free scan for your hostess credit. And so you're turning it into a gathering, but then you're also getting a full appointment out of it. So they get the add-on by bringing their friends. If you're giving them like something that's sample related, like a contouring kit or something like in my contouring kits, it's like foundation samples in different shades, you know, and you get all the different contouring shades for that. Or like the powders and, you know, samples in different shades, or a travel color kit is like a color card and a foundation primer sample and a CC cream sample, and you can take it with you to travel or something. So if they're getting something like that, that's like just kind of sample-ish, like they don't really know, you know, you're not calling it a sample, but like if that's what that's what they're getting, you could then say, you know, if you want to include some friends and have them join you, then they'll each get one of these, you know, contouring kits for free or whatever. And then you will also get a free full-size CC cream or foundation or something. So like that's the hostess credit. Like if she wants to get some friends together, you can upgrade her to a full size if you're not starting out with the full size. And so then she's getting that physical product with her sample kit. But then, so I book them and I turn it into a party, and then we get together. And then when they're all together with their friends, like I use the same strategy for like my referral program, which it's like a whole nother training too. But what I do, like the gist of it is for my referral program, they can gift their friends with connection, or not a connection, with a blessing bag that's got the connection card stuff in it. But they can gift their friends with a blessing bag, and each blessing bag has a different gift in it, or whatever you want to say. But then you're able to, at that appointment, get all those referrals. So like, I love that I can take my connection card, I could go make a connection with like one person when I'm out and about, and then turn her appointment into a party with like, 5 or 6 friends or whatever, and then get another like 60 to 100 leads, like referrals from her party. And then that keeps me going for a while, because you just need, it's like that saying that all you need is a spark, to light the fire. So my mom, who is also my national, Stacy James, she always gives us challenges, like all the directors in our area, she'll give us these challenges to go out and meet 10 women. And the intention of the challenge is not to just go like meet 10 women and book all 10 women, because that is like, I mean, obviously that's great if that's the intention, we want that to happen. But then, when we meet all 10 women and only like a couple of them book or whatever, we feel defeated. And so what my mom teaches on is that like, she'll give us that challenge to go out and meet the 10, but it's not for that purpose of meeting the 10 and booking all 10. It's to allow you to meet the 1 or 2 or 3 women that you're supposed to meet and you're supposed to connect with, that are then going to actually turn into a booking. And then they become that spark that kind of lights your momentum fire and gets you going, because then they're going to get some friends together, then you're going to get some referrals, and then it's just going to kind of keep going. And then when the fire starts to kind of die down, then you go back out, with your connection cards, and you find some more sparks with them. So the cool thing about the connection cards that Andrea made is that there's these different options, but you can edit them all in Canva to say whatever you want them to say. So if you want them all to be glam bags instead of, facial kits, you can. Or if you want them to all say something different, then you can make a bunch of different versions of them, or whatever you want to do. But the one that is the QR code, this one, since it doesn't say on here what the prize is, they have to scan it and go to the landing page. She also made a editable landing page in Canva, which is awesome. So you can go in and like the landing page says everything that the one that lists out what's in the facial kit, like all that is editable. So you can change it to say whatever you want. You could even make multiple landing pages if you wanted to. And then she tells you in there like how to then take how to get the link for the landing page, and then how to make a new QR code, because then you would just attach the new QR code to your connection card, but then you can like edit it. It's so cool. You also can add like your picture and stuff to it if you wanted to, like your contact information. So it's kind of like your branding on the page. So even if you didn't want to change what it said, you could still do it that way if you wanted to. So I'm going to show you. Let me screen share here. I'll show you the landing page or where it's at, and I'll show you the different. Okay, so on the connection card page, this is the landing page. So if you download it, it opens up into like a Canva template like the other ones do. And then you can edit it all in there, and then she walks you through how to like get the link for it and make the QR code and stuff. But you could just, if you just wanted to put like your picture and contact information on there, just so it was like, here's you when they scan it, like you could do that. But so going back to my whole like thing I was saying about sometimes you just want to like shake things up a little bit to like make it fun for you, so it's a little bit different. Because of that theory, I had started having her create like themed ones for me. So like there's ones for all the different seasons, but then also for like holidays and things. And then I started having her make matching stickers that I could put on the bags, because I like things just need to match. Like I just brings me joy when all the pieces match. If you know me and you've seen my children, they're always in matching clothes. But I just love it. So there's all the matching stickers. But what I like about that is that when you're going out, like you know, say it's Halloween, or something like this isn't, I don't know, there's a Halloween one in here somewhere. But if you wanted to make little goodie bags that would have like candy in it, and they're like Halloween themed, and you're going around giving out Halloween candy to people, or Valentine's Day, you're putting together little Valentines, or like this one is like, it's your lucky day. It's, you know, it's like St. Patrick's themed, New Year's, Christmas, fall, all those kind of things. That's like, it just gives another reason to why you're walking around handing out free gifts to people. Besides it's like your love language and you just want to, you know, it's a blessing bag, you want to bless people, but sometimes it's like, it's, you know, it's Thanksgiving, I want to hand out little grateful gratitude bags to everybody. I'm so grateful for you, whatever. Like, it's just like another reason behind why you're doing it. There's like a theme to it. There is like this, like for October, I do both, but I have like a Halloween one I'll do sometimes, but I also like to do the breast cancer awareness one, because she also has on our breast cancer awareness page, she has these cards that have like the breast exam instructions, like how to do your own breast exam thing, that like has a card. So I'll put those cards inside my bags. And so I'll say it's like, you know, breast cancer awareness, there's some goodies in here for you and some instructions and stuff. So you could do things like that. So it's just like, I mean, really for your own sake, just to like change things up and make it fun. That's why there's all the different options on here, but the landing page is cool because I just figured out that she had that not that long ago, and I'm like, that is fun. I can do my little shift things up, but I really like the the scratch off is still my favorite. So you just, you know, whatever works for you, whatever gets you excited is really the best route to go. All right, I've been seeing all the comments coming in as I'm talking, like out of the side of my eye, because I have them on my phone, and there are a lot on here. So I'm not going to make you guys sit here while I scroll through them all. I'll go through them, and if there's questions, I'll just come back and answer them in the comments. If you have, like, if you're watching this later and you've got questions, just like tag me or something, and that way I'll like know to come back and look for it. But yeah, so next week's video is going to be on portfolios and projects and stuff and how I use those, because that was really like kind of my main tool when I started my business as a new consultant when I was 18, and like just how it kind of goes hand in hand a little bit with the connection cards, but it was kind of how I started booking people like that I already knew in my life, and then kind of took it from there. So, and it's what I teach all my consultants to do, is the importance of having like a project and a portfolio and that kind of thing. So that was like one of the first things that I started having Andrea make for me when I had her, kind of hired her as my graphic designer before GBG existed. And I was telling her, like, I wanted her to start, you know, as paying her to create projects for me every week. It really started with like the portfolios and stuff. So that video will be posted next week on Thursday at the same time. I won't be live because I'm going to be in Dallas at seminar, but it'll be there for you. And then if you missed it at the beginning, last week's video is in this group too, but it's also on the digital sticker page. If you want to like find it easier, you can find it there too. But thanks guys for being on. And as soon as I jump off, I will go look at the comments and see if there's any questions that I missed. But thank you so much for being on with me and hanging out. And I hope you guys have a fabulous day.